the 4 states and 1 union territory, but a lot of key takeaways have already come out from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry in the south to Assam and West Bengal. We are getting you the complete lowdown right now. And the results, of course, have thrown up a number of surprises and a lot of implications at the same time. So let's just, first of all, give you an overall sense quickly of what the numbers are looking like before we dissect them for you and dive deeper into what these electoral contests really looked like. We are starting off with what the numbers have looked like in the state of West Bengal. Of course, a major political history that's been scripted. Look at what the numbers are looking like. This, of course, is history that's also very telling for a number of reasons. The TMC, 81, BJP standing at 206, while we're looking at 6 as the number for the others in the Congress. Now, of course, this is a contest that has been closely watched for a number of reasons. A heated political rhetoric that was, of course, a huge factor, a huge contributor and ingredient of this electoral contest as well. We'll get to that in just a bit. Let's also take a look at what the numbers have looked like in Tamil Nadu. That, of course, has been another key electoral contest that has thrown up a lot of major political implications. And if you're joining us now and if you've not been following what the day has looked like, let's just tell you, in the state, it's been called a major political blockbuster debut for Vijay, someone who was regarded as could be a kingmaker, in fact, could turn out to be the king himself. So that's the other story that we will be putting the spotlight on. That's what the numbers are looking like, 75 and followed by 54 for the AIADMK. But the TVK, Vijay's party that we just will be telling you more about, standing at a very significant 105. Of course, the counting is still underway. That's just a reminder for you. But these numbers are extremely telling right now, followed by that 0. Let's also focus on what the numbers have looked like in Assam. Of course, that's also a contest that has been closely watched for the very fact that this also means a huge transition in the state, a major political shift, a dramatic shift in power as well. We're looking at 102 for the BJP, 221 for Congress. 21 is the latest number right now. And of course, these numbers will keep fluctuating, but that's the story in itself, right? That is a key takeaway right there. The numbers, since they started trickling in, since early hours of the morning, have been closely watched, have been nail-biting to begin with, but now the story has consolidated. As you can see, it's been a major number there. 102 right now is what the number looks like for the BJP. In Kerala, meanwhile, that battleground also has thrown up a very interesting mix of numbers, of course. 35 for the LDF, UDF standing at 100 and the BJP with 3. That, of course, is a huge shift as well when we are looking at what it means for the UDF standing at 100. And who would have thought the LDF right now at 35. So that in itself also tells you what has really worked and what hasn't. So we will be dissecting that as well in just a bit. Right now, the BJP standing at 3 over there. And we're also looking at Puducherry, what the numbers have looked like. Right now, 18 followed by 6 is what the tally looks like. This also is a contest in the Union Territory of Puducherry, which has been significant for a number of reasons. But what we are doing now is we're getting a deep dive into all of these contests for you and getting you the key takeaways and the larger message coming out from these contests as well.
এটা বিজেপির প্ল্যান।
with that, the BJP has scripted electoral history in West Bengal, like we just told you what the numbers are looking like. The party has now ended Mamata Banerjee's 15-year-long rule in the state, which was once considered an insurmountable political fortress, has now been breached. Let's just take a look at the deeper political trends that have been standing out that also shaped the BJP's landslide victory in the state of West Bengal. The BJP managed to make inroads in Mamata Banerjee's traditional strongholds. That's also been a very significant takeaway. We're talking about the southern districts of West Bengal. In fact, the BJP also piercing through Mamata Banerjee's strong base among the Muslim community. Remember, in the 2021 assembly election, the TMC secured the number of seats of 119 out of 135 in areas with a strong Muslim electorate. But this time around, what we're seeing is the BJP leading in 80 of these seats. Of course, the counting is still underway, but we are telling you what the larger takeaways are right now. The change in vote share also showing that the Congress and the Communist Party of India Marxists could have cut into the TMC's vote share in these constituencies. And let's also now zoom in into some of the key battles that have been shaping that electoral contest. The BJP's Subindu Adhikari leading from the Nandigram seat. Very significant. Remember, he has been continuously maintaining his lead in that seat since counting started, in fact, early in the morning. And next up, we are talking about that crucial constituency where a rematch of the 2021 Nandigram contest has been underway. After trailing in the initial rounds, Mamata Banerjee established a steady lead against Subindu Adhikari, who has been contesting from that seat as well as Nandigram. The Congress Party's political veteran, meanwhile, Adhiranjan Chaudhary, trailing from the Behrampur seat, and he is currently trailing. The number right now is looking at 23675 votes, so trailing by those number of votes against the candidate from the BJP. Let's also talk about Ratna Debanath, the mother of the rape victim at the R.G. Khan Medical College, contesting the election on the BJP ticket. She is on course to enter West Bengal State Assembly. And the scale of the BJP's massive victory could also be attributed to a combination of factors here, like 15 years of anti-incumbency, also the potential swing of women voters or a consolidation of Hindu votes in the BJP's favor as well. Regardless, the BJP is set to have its first ever chief minister in West Bengal. But who will be the face of the new government is the immediate question. Will it be the BJP's giant slayer, as he's been called, Subindu Adhikari, or will it be a surprise nomination by the BJP's top brass? So that's another key question. Ahead of the elections, the BJP made a big issue, remember, of the opposition's refusal to pass the 33% women reservation in the parliament, which was linked to the delimitation of the parliamentary seats. The BJP is currently in power either alone or in an alliance. That's the larger message here. In 21 states and union territories. 21. However, only one of these 21 administrations has a woman chief minister. And this also opens up the possibility of a woman chief minister in West Bengal. So that's also been the speculation. As of now, anything is possible following the BJP's crucial breakthrough in the battle for Bengal. All right, going straight across now to Dharamjot Kaur, who's been tracking those developments in West Bengal. What a day it has been, Dharamjot. Let's just talk about what didn't really work for the TMC, while what worked for the BJP. Of course, over the next few hours and days, there'll be a lot of introspection and a lot of dissection that will happen. But another key takeaway that analysts have been talking about has been how, the women voters and the Muslim voters, these have been central to the advantage that the TMC has had. But right now, what we are looking at is perhaps that did not quite work this time.
Well, it's been a day and a half out here, Molly. Clearly a lot of activity on ground. In fact, just an hour ago, we had thousands of BJP supporters and workers just filling this entire area near Netaji Stadium, where counting is still underway. So a massive victory for the BJP, a very historic one, and first in the state of West Bengal, clearly. Now, there's a myriad of factors that we've been talking about through the day as numbers went up and down. Now that the result has more or less solidified and it's not really changing in any direction, I think there's going to be a lot of data points that once they get finalized will be looked back upon to truly analyze and pinpoint which were the factors that really worked in the BJP's favor. There is no doubt about the fact that anti-incumbency has been a factor. It's been a factor in the urban area and also surprisingly in the rural area, given the margin with which the BJP is winning or leading seats across West Bengal. The TMC historically had a pretty strong grasp over the rural parts of West Bengal. That doesn't seem to be the case this time around. The other thing that we're also noticing in numbers as they keep developing is that all the seats that the BJP is winning, it's winning with massive margins. So in 2021, we saw about 55 to 56 seats that were either narrowly won by the BJP or narrowly lost by the BJP, and the TMC won those seats. And it was a very intense battle 5 years ago. This time around, that is not the story at all. The other factors could definitely be a lot of issues that voters in West Bengal feel have been unheard and not really addressed in the past 15 years by the Chief Minister. Two of them, the biggest ones, are unemployment, and the second, of course, is investment in the state. We do know that West Bengal is the sixth largest in terms of state economies in India, but in terms of contribution to GDP, in terms of other figures of employment and national denominators, it hasn't been doing really well. In fact, it's been on the decline, which is why we also see a sort of shift in terms of a lot of people leaving the state and going out from both urban and rural areas looking for better opportunities. And somehow families and locals here wanted that to stop. So they're looking for more to happen for the state instead of people moving out of it. Whether or not the BJP can do that now is the big question, because they have what they've been calling the double engine mechanism in place now in West Bengal for the first time in the history post-independence. And so how many of the policies can they really implement? How much investment does the state really see? How many jobs does it see in the next 5 years is going to be very important. Just to reiterate what we've been hearing the Indian Prime Minister speak and addressing the BJP workers a short while back, he's definitely called for a lot of change. He's hoping that a lot of it is going to happen under the BJP's tenure in West Bengal. He's also called for an end to violence, and he's told his party workers, we do not want to see revenge. We just want to see an end to political violence. And you have Mamata Banerjee now in the position of leader of opposition. And she said that the party is going to bounce back. So the next 5 years clearly are going to be very, very interesting in terms of seeing how the political battle here unfolds in the state, even though the BJP has won, the TMC has lost. There's clearly going to be a lot of back and forth in terms of policies, in terms of statements. So the excitement is still not over, the fun is still not over, and the uncertainty of everything is still not over, Molly.
Right. All eyes on those questions being answered. We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for now. Let's also talk about the other key surprise that stood out in these electoral contests coming in from Tamil Nadu, where actor turned politician Vijay made what's been called a blockbuster debut into Tamil Nadu's assembly. His party emerging as the single largest political player in the state during the maiden electoral campaign. What a feat. In fact, Vijay has now etched his name in Tamil Nadu's political history, and how. The AIADMK and the DMK's 5 decades of duopoly in Tamil Nadu politics faced a major setback. Vijay has transferred fandom into the political base, it seems. All exit polls except one by Access My India, remember, projected a victory for the DMK. But the undercurrent of Vijay's star power seems to have delivered that surprise verdict in Tamil Nadu. Of course, the factors will also be dissected over the next few hours and days ahead. But let's just for now take a quick look at the major battleground seats in the state of Tamil Nadu, where the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin lost from his constituency, the seat that in fact he had represented thrice since 2011. So that's been a major setback. In fact, the TVK's candidate emerged as a giant slayer there. Stalin's son and his political heir contesting, also currently leading against the TVK's candidate. In fact, the AIDMK's candidate trailing in the third place. And we're also talking about Palaniswamy of the AIDMK, who's leading from his seat right now with 9,800 votes. That's what the number is looking like right now. The superstar of the day, of course, going back to talking about Vijay, he is leading from the Perambur seat by over 44,000 votes. He is also contesting from the seat where he is leading by over 20,000 votes. That's the other seat, and that's what the numbers look like there. O. Paneerselvam, a political turncoat who left the AIDMK to join the DMK, is in the fray as well and leading by over 5,000 votes right now. That's what the numbers look like. Vijay is not the only actor successfully turning the political tide in Tamil Nadu. In fact, we're also talking about leaders like M.G. Ramachandran, remember, the former three-time Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And his protege, J. Jayalalitha, successfully transitioned from films to the political arena. And from an on-screen game changer to the most powerful post in Tamil Nadu, perhaps, Vijay carries the weight of a lot of expectations on his shoulders. Now, apart from the star power, Vijay's campaign also had a technological touch. Holograms, robots, social media outreach have been major ingredients that also seem to have helped him to get the support from the youth voter base. In fact, Vijay securing this major victory, but the numbers as of now are not enough to make a majority government, remember. As of now, the way things stand, he must forge an alliance. He may either go with smaller parties or join hands with Palaniswamy. Vijay is yet to reveal what things will be looking like. And for more on that, let's go straight across now to Siddharth MP, our principal correspondent who's been tracking all those developments. In fact, he's standing right now outside Vijay's residence in Chennai. We can only imagine what the day has looked like over there, the epicenter, it seems, of all the action and the celebrations that we have been witnessing. Siddharth, give us a sense of what things have looked like on the ground, also in terms of the reactions that you've been getting in from the people.
With the kind of victory that Vijay has earned for himself, this place is completely transformed over the last couple of hours. You know, earlier in the day, there was only a mild posse of policemen that were present here. But now it's a fortress. This place is only accessible for journalists. There are no commoners allowed here. There are no party workers allowed here. There's no celebrations allowed here. This is a calm residential locality. And this is Vijay's palatial residence in Casuarina Drive. So this place is going to be, as you pointed out, the political epicenter of Tamil Nadu for the coming times. So in fact, in the recent past, what's happened is that over the last decades, in fact, several localities in Chennai have been elevated to VIP or VVIP localities or posh localities because several chief ministers of the time had their personal residences there. But now this is going to be the new place that will be the epicenter of activity. As we speak, Vijay's convoy is arriving. He's just arriving from Chennai city after receiving his victory certificate. You know, after receiving that winning certificate, Vijay is expected to arrive any moment now as we speak. And here he is waving his hands, you can see on our frame, just entering, you know, in his charismatic style, entering his residence, no words to the media, nothing, just a smile, just a wave. And here he is, the victorious candidate in Tamil Nadu. He scripted history. So while the comparisons have been with MGR and J. Jayalalitha, let's also say that Vijay set a standard for himself. So there's no comparison with other leaders. He set a standard for himself because imagine 2 years, no political background. Just a couple of months ago, he was struggling to get his film released. There was a lot of controversy, censor issues, troubles, then a legal battle. Recently, the film got leaked. His personal life as well, there's been some issues. Those kind of things came out in public. But despite all that, the Karur stampede, 41 people dying, the CBI probe, setback after setback, almost as though on cue was happening to sort of derail Vijay's political career. And It appeared as though all of these would prove to be setbacks, but he's risen above all that. And that's the phenomenon that we're talking about in Tamil Nadu, sort of ousting parties that have been around for 40, 50 years. In fact, more than that. And
Right.
Vijay emerging as the, leader with more than 100 seats. This goes on to show the kind of disruption potential that he's brought to the fore. And this also is testimony to the fact that Vijay's campaign strategy has worked. He's not done any media interviews. He's only campaigned on his own. He's only done live streams of his campaigns. In fact, his campaign was less hectic than most mainstream politicians. But despite that,
Right.
he's been able to pull off this kind of a massive victory. And this goes on to show that Vijay is standing in a pantheon of his own. Molly.
Indeed, that political superstar who we just spotted in our frame as well, Siddharth. We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us. So with that, let's also talk about the other electoral contest. We're talking about the BJP returning to power in Assam. A resounding victory there. In fact, Himanta Biswa Sarma securing a second consecutive term as Assam's chief minister. This, remember, is the only state where two national political parties were directly competing, and the Congress, yet again, faced a crushing defeat. The BJP is set to cross the halfway mark on its own in Assam as of now, and this will be the third consecutive BJP government in the northeastern state, celebrating the victory. In fact, he greeted his supporters and danced with them. Dancing, remember, has been a common theme in Sarma's campaign. Let's take a look. And according to the latest figures by the Election Commission, the BJP has secured over 38% of the vote share in Assam. The Congress, on the other hand, has managed to secure just over 29% of the vote share. The nearly 10% difference in the vote share reflecting in the seat share as well. So that's key as well. Let's also take in a quick look at how the key candidates have been doing in Assam. Remember, we're talking about Himanta Biswa Sarma first, leading in this seat. He is leading against the Congress's Vidisha Niyog with nearly 89,000 votes. Meanwhile, the BJP's Hitendranath Goswami defeated the Congress heavyweight and potential CM candidate Gaurav Gogoi from Jorhat. So that's been the other significant takeaway as of now. Gogoi has lost the seat by a margin of over 23,000 votes as of now. Meanwhile, Akhil Gogoi leading by over 15,000 votes as of now. The BJP and the AGP both fielded their candidates on this seat, remember, despite being in alliance. The numbers showing that a consensus candidate may have given Gogoi a tough fight for the seat. Of course, a lot of answers will emerge from here onwards, but that as of now is what things have been looking like. The Congress currently leading in as many as 19 seats, and if the numbers hold, the Congress is eyeing its lowest ever number of seats in the Assam Assembly. So that's been a major message here as well. On to Keralam's Left Democratic Front, led by two-term Chief Minister. Suffering a stunning defeat, the defeat also marking the fall of what had long been described as the left's last bastion in India. For the first time since 1977, no left party will be in office in any Indian state, in fact, and no communist chief minister will be heading a state government. As the CPIM-led alliance lost ground, the Congress-led UDF set to return to power. In fact, the victory has brought the UDF back to power in the state after 10 years. The largest parties in the alliance being the Congress and the Indian Union Muslim League. The southern state, meanwhile, had long been the left's final stronghold. Even after the fall of the left governments in West Bengal and Tripura, Kerala continued to hold the line. That mattered also because the state carries a special place in a way in political history. In the year 1957, it elected the world's first democratically chosen communist government. And for years after that, the state kept the left politically relevant. Even as its footprint shrank elsewhere, This election, though, suggesting the mood had shifted, signs of anti-incumbency had already surfaced in the last year's local body elections. The LDF tried to respond with welfare measures aimed at women and young voters, along with a large public outreach campaign as well. But those efforts seem to have only made limited impact. In fact, the LDF's defeat marking the end of a long political chapter, with its space shrinking in both the parliament and the states. The left now entering one of the most uncertain phases in modern Indian politics. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Race to Power. Stay with us, lots more coming up on the other side of a short break.
In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION World is One. WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more. In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We are live on WION World is One.